New age, new era. Not really retro, but we're doing it anyways, so let's see some blood. We open the movie at Springwood Diner. Young bloke trying to stay awake falls into a dream. Wandering the kitchen of the diner, he encounters the chef.
Dean.
But it was a dream, and that cut on his hand is for real. This chick Chris turns up and he tells her about his dreams he's been having. But he fucks up and knocks his coffee on her, so she fucks off to go get cleaned up. But in the meantime, he falls asleep with a knife in his hand. And enter the main title intro. So all the Springwood classmates attend his funeral, and Chris dozes off and sees a young girl. Could have worn a better dress. Then she sees a photo of herself as a kid with Dean the dead guy as kids. And oh, it's that girl that she visioned. Later that night, the nude Nancy, she dozes off, but she escapes that dream. Over at Chris's house, she's still curious about the child photo of herself, and she goes exploring in the attic. But sometimes we just don't like what we find.
Remember me?
But she wakes up and it's the next day and we're off to school. Chris now falls asleep in class. And this is Freddy's classroom, bitch.
This won't hurt.
But she escapes again. I guess he wants her to tell her friends and spread the message. And that she does. Jessie pops over for a nighttime shag and she tells him of all the dreams. Hey, he has the same ones. Now asleep, it's dream time for Chris. She goes outside looking for her dog and Freddy killed the dog. You fucking prick. I don't like that in movie. You don't have to kill dogs. I don't like that. She runs inside and it turns into preschool. Her child self leads her to the classroom and teaches.
Here I come.
But Freddy's just fucking with her. Jessie wakes up and Chris is having a night fit. And like the original, she's flying on the roof. And just like that, you're fucked. Jessie freaks and fucking runs to Nancy's house to tell her what's happened. Blood all over him and he actually convinces her. Fucking dumbass. But then he makes tracks only for the coppers to catch his fucking dumbass.
I didn't kill her! You know! Shut the fuck up!
Fucking bit harsh, mate. So Jessie's locked up now with no place to run or hide. The next day, Nancy and Quentin are doing some research on sleep disorders. But back at the police station, Jesse's got himself into a little bit of a dream world. And he finds himself in the boiler room that looks very familiar. And just like that, you've had your heart ripped right out. Later that night, Nancy decides to freshen up. Nancy heads to her room and it's snowing there. And it turns into the preschool again. Just a trip down memory lane.
Little Nancy.
But she wakes up from that wet dream, lucky Quentin called. So Quentin comes over and they investigate some more old school photos that they found, and they discover that they all knew each other from preschool. And Mum spits it that they found all these photos, and now she has to tell them and explain everything that happened. That Freddy loved yous kids so much. Loved a little too much, Freddy the pedo. They don't really do him justice in not making him a pedo in this movie, do they? I wouldn't be smiling about it, buddy. Next day, back at school, and it's swimming lessons time. But I guess Quentin fell asleep while swimming? In his dream, he gets to see the past, a past vision of Freddy running from all the parents. And the parents must think, what beats sitting in court, putting all the kids through that pedo shit? I know, burn the fucking pedo. And I agree with the parents 100%. I really do. Oh yeah, and Quentin wakes up. Quentin then has an argument with his dad saying that we were kids and we could have actually made this story up. So maybe Freddy's innocent. Maybe Freddy's not a pedo. I'm sorry. This is why we have trials. Quentin goes to get more meds, but Nancy falls asleep in the car.
Wake up! You're bleeding.
But she escapes again and he likes his little Nancy. Quentin takes her to the hospital to get fixed up, but then they fuck off back to the preschool to look for some more clues. And they find Freddy's dirty pedo dungeon. And it's true, they didn't make it up as kids. Freddy's a fucking pedo. Well, in this movie anyway. Take your posters down, kids, this guy's a sicko. So Nancy decides she's going in. She's gonna go to sleep while Quentin watches. But Quentin's dumbass falls asleep himself.
Can't save her!
But Nancy's here to save her boyfriend. But Nancy gets sucked into a pool of blood. Luckily, there's an escape on the other side. And this Freddy isn't really funny. He gives away these stay away from my kid vibes.
But your body says yes.
Not cool, multiverse Freddy. Not cool. But Quentin wakes up just in time for Nancy to pull Freddy into the real world. And Nancy's gonna get some payback on this molestering son of a bitch. First the hand. Yeah, girl, don't stop there. That's it. Release the evil. Then Nancy burns down this dirty dungeon room once and for all to be rid of all of this dirty history of evil. Quentin gets taken off to hospital and it's all over now. Nancy heads off home with her mummy, and just when you think it's over, Freddy's never dead. The end. Now for all the questions we want answered. Was the kid at the start in the cafe the very first Freddy victim, or was there other victims before that? I don't know. They never explained that to me. Did they explain that to you? They didn't explain if there was other kids that were dying. They didn't explain that to me. I don't know. Why did Freddy keep showing them what he did to them as kids? Don't you think that's a bit harsh and a bit tormentive to these children who might have already forgotten what had happened to them? And now this creepo has brought back their memories before he kills them that he molested them. It's just sick. Why? Why does he have to show them? Why? How do the kids not remember that they were mates from preschool? They find the photos and they, oh shit, we all knew each other. Come on. You remember your friends from preschool. Don't give me that shit. Everyone remembers their friends from preschool. The CGI bit from the wall behind Nancy's head, I fucking hated that. I fucking really hated that. It looked shit. It looked shit. It looked dog shit. Why did you fucking do it? Just trying to copy an original fucking bit, but it looked crap. Fuck you. I didn't like that Rufus the dog was killed by Freddy. That was not cool, man. Didn't appreciate that. Didn't appreciate that bit at all. Fuck you for that. I think they used a little bit of the, too much of the original, like the bath bit and the walls and a little bit of the CGI. They used a little bit of too much of the original. I know it's a reboot and a remake, but you don't have to use everything that's in the remake if you want to make a remake. Just using the original story. You don't have to use all the bits that they made famous in the first one, like on the roof or the walls and all that. It just make different kills. It doesn't matter. If you're making a reboot, just make different kills. It's all good. We're going to accept that. I really love that they showed the backstory of him working at the preschool with the kids and all that. But unfortunately, it was very good, but it really makes him out to be a pedo in this movie, because in the original ones, he was just a child killer. They never said anything about, look, in the end, it glorifies that he was a pedo. I'm sorry. In this movie, in the original 7, it doesn't. He's just a child killer. He's just a killer of the kids. This one, they did make it out, and I don't like that they put that in there. And I'm pretty sure majority of you will agree with me. They didn't need to put that in there. It's just, yeah. Okay, so this was okay. It was a good movie, but too much direction of him being a pedo instead of just a child killer and a murderer. It would have been better as a prequel if they made a prequel instead of a reboot, or maybe even made it into a TV series. Would have been pretty good as well. But this one only gets 4 out of 10 Freddy gloves, unfortunately, the reboot. I thought it was actually going to get better than this, but after watching it again, it really opened my eyes up how much they glorified him as being this child pedo. Anyway, this puts the ladder like this. On the bottom still is part 2, that got 2 out of 10. The reboot got 4 out of 10. Part 6 got 5. Part 5 got 5. Part 4 got 6 out of 10. Part 3 got 7 out of 10. Part 7 got 7 out of 10, which was so good. The New Nightmare. And part 1 was the best with 8 out of 10. That is my ladder. I'm done with the Freddys. I'm not going to watch them for a long time again now. I struggled with that. I really struggled with this, watching this one and part 2. The rest of them were all pretty good, except for part 6. Actually, part 6, reboot, and 2 were all pretty bad. But the story of 6 was actually good, so I don't know anymore, man. I just don't know anymore. Alright guys, like, subscribe, do what the fuck you want. I'll be back with some new movies. I'll be back with some old movies. I'm going to go with some, instead of doing a whole heap of these movies in a row, I'm just going to pick out some old crazy retro movies that I haven't seen. So we'll go with that next. Alright guys, see you.